What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. If you're looking for me, I'm down here today, bottom middle of the screen, and got some really exciting material to go over today. So I want to go over 4 option trades today. And what I'm going to start doing as far as my new schedule, since I'm going through monetization now, I'm going to probably do 1 dividend video per week, 1 option video per week, and I'll pick for the 3rd video either a random topic or something trending in the news or something trending on the internet. So that's how it'll be. But today, let's get right to it. So the Facebook call option that was an earnings play that I've mentioned in 2 separate videos, I was actually able to close that one out today for, not today, but yesterday. I wish I had closed it out today because it did very well, because the market saw a sudden reversal because Papa Powell at the Fed chose to raise interest rates only 50 basis points or 0.5% instead of 75 basis points or 0.75%. So the market shot up in the last 2 hours of trading, and this skyrocketed a lot of the options positions too for these underlying stocks. So first, I want to go over the Facebook or Meta option here. And this is really exciting stuff with this. I'm going to go over some two earnings plays in recent times, and I'm going to show you what's possible in an actual bullish market like we saw over the last 4 years. So starting out with Facebook or Meta, I want to try to get it on the chart here, but if you can see the very middle of my screen, $1,750 in gain if I held this a day later. I sold it yesterday too soon for a $100 gain after I had bought in, and it dropped way down, and it was like $1,000 in the red at one point, but it came back. Well, the earnings were decent, and then the stock fluctuated a bit, and it shot up briefly yesterday, and I was able to close it out for a profit. So I thought, get out of it. Similar to what I did on the Roblox one, but I missed a lot of meat on the bone. I missed out on another $1,600 by selling too soon. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm not perfect on this. You know, there's a lot of things I'm still learning. And sometimes, you know, it's partly luck, it's partly effort, things like that. But in my case, you know, I think that I should have probably just held this another day, realizing that the interest rate announcement was coming from the Fed and Chairman Powell today. But anyway, that's that. Similar thing happened with AMD. A lot of folks were in that one hoping for a nice gain, and many sold out too soon, kind of like I did with the Meta option. Now let me see. I want to get this chart up here because this chart is actually for another one down here, but it's much easier to follow. Oh, shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, here we go. Come on. Where did that chart? Dang it. Where did that chart go? It's not what I want. There we go. Okay, but this is not for AMD, but let's go over AMD first. Just focus on the middle of my screen for now, because I actually have one of the bigger options plays configured on here. So AMD, similar thing happened. The stock bottomed out on the 27th of April, I believe. It was around 84 something a share, I want to say. Bottomed out at 84. And then it's been, because it's, you know, it's way off its 52-week high. It's been around, its prior peak was 123, March 29th. So just analyzing the chart, it seemed bound for recovery, which it did experience. So by today, and this helped also with the Fed's announcement on the interest rate, it shot up to almost $100 a share again, and 99.42. So that propelled this call option. And I just picked the same expiration date as the Meta one, June 17th, $100 strike price. If you had bought it, well, actually, let me go to April 27th when it bottomed out. This is a perfect world that we're showing here, that we're illustrating, but I know it's not a perfect world in reality. But if we got all the meat off this one, it would be 42.70 in gains. So yeah, 42.70 in gains if we timed this perfectly. If you had got in, say, Monday, that would have been a nice $3,100 gain. And that's just for 2 days, which is pretty nice. Like these gains obviously beat a job, but it does get even better than that. And like I've talked about in some of my other videos that I've hinted at, there are some much bigger trades and gains that happen with just the straight long call options. And I'm going to show you one today. I was actually going to reserve this for a future video, but I said, heck with it. I'll go ahead and put it in this one. And this is really mind-blowing. This is a realistic trade scenario that most people could have done if they understood this and were paying attention during the Rona. I didn't make this trade. I wish I did. I think things would have taken off a lot sooner for me if I had. But this one, when you see this, this is really going to be eye-opening because I just happen to play around with this tool, which I love this tool, by the way, this Think Back tool and Thinkorswim. And this is by far the biggest option profit that I've ever looked at. The biggest one, I knew of a $70,000 gain, which I thought like that blew my mind. But this one is really going to blow the doors off their hinges when you see this one, because I played around because what I did, I knew stocks like Amazon. So if you go back to March 2020, when at the onset of the Rona, when the lockdowns happened, the stock market tanked. It lost like massive amount of value within 2 weeks. I think the Dow dropped below 20,000. It had been close to, I want to say, let me just go back here. It had been going back to 2020. God, we got to go over 2 years now. It was flirting with 30,000, and then it dropped all the way down. I wouldn't say it was like 18,000 at some point, but anyway, most of the large cap blue chip stocks saw a massive drop too. So if you were savvy at the time, you had to know that things were going to recover, especially with the massive amount of stimulus that the government pumped into the economy. So stocks like Amazon, which were trading high before the onset of the Rona, Amazon had cracked $2,100 a share February 10th. And then it dropped down to $17.85. And if you know Amazon's business model, Amazon was the perfect COVID play, if you think about it. Deliveries to home. So Amazon had like the ultimate supercharged blast in the run up of the stock price. It was like a straight shot up. You could almost draw a vertical line. And when you have vertical lines like that, what happens to your call options? Exponentially more. That is what you want to hit. That is when you hit that, it's like catching lightning in a bottle. It's as good as playing the lottery, except you actually win. So between March 23rd, 2020 and August 24th, 2020, Amazon stock went from $17.85 a share to $34.01. So that was almost doubling. That was a gain of 90% in, what was that, March 9th, August 24th, five and a half months. So if the stock shot up 90%, what happened to the call option? And you'll see, I'm going to show you, and it's going to be truly mind-blowing. I was actually going to save this for last, but this is the best. Save the best for last, right? But no, I want to go ahead and get to it now. So let me configure let's go back in time. We're going to time travel to the past. February 2020, let's say March 30th. We won't say we had perfect timing on this one, but we'll say close to perfect. And then we'll say we held this until August 5th. Which one did I pick here? Oh, September 20th expiration. So we'll start out at that, but let's pick, I already have it here. I just need to repick it again. Close some of these other ones out here because the graph, I messed up my graph. Get rid of Facebook, Meta, get rid of Blackstone. It's still displaying AMD, but this is actually the Amazon one. Why is that? Let's do this. Oh, because I have, you know what? I'm still kind of learning this tool. Even though I'm teaching, I'm learning at the same time. So, okay, I need to type in Amazon up here. Here we go. Okay, so Amazon stock is here, and I'm going to pick the one I had here before, September 18th. What strike price did I pick? 3,000. 3,000, was that? Yeah, 3,000 strike price. And those of you who know how to read this chart below can jump ahead. But for most of the audience that probably doesn't, just follow along here because this is going to build up very nice. Okay, so we bought this hypothetically, or in a parallel universe, if you believe in like the time theory, time travel, and all that. In a parallel universe, we could have actually made this trade. Think about this. Okay, so let's say August 5th. And look at the P&L or profit and loss on this. And your eyes aren't deceiving you in the middle right where my cursor is, $271,075 in profit on an initial investment of $6,775. So think about it. Everyone that got stimulus money during the Rona, just come up with $7,000, turn it into this. It's like hitting the lotto. Phenomenal, isn't it? But actually, the date that I picked, ooh, this is, I love this chart here. If you follow the yellow line where it says think back P&L, that's the maximum profit there. If we time this thing perfectly, that's showing 535,000 if we held this till September 2nd. So let's jump in time to September 2nd. Look at this. There it is, $535,000 in profit. How is that not only for a year, but one trade, just one trade, 67.75, which would have been your max loss if you held this. It should show 66.50 actually. One trade. How is that? That's what was possible during the, so we had the drop and then the massive shoot up during the Rona. When you have a bull market where things go up like that, this is what's possible. And this blew my mind. I had no idea. You could almost call this like the big long instead of the movie The Big Short. This is like the big long. And well, that could refer to something else or not. I'm just kidding. Or am I? But anyway, that's really what this is. I mean, this is phenomenal. I mean, look at that. Now, September 18th expiration. Say we bought this, say our timing was better. Say we actually bought this on, say we bought it 10 days earlier. Let's see what difference that makes. Isn't this fun? It's still about the same, $1,000 difference, but that is what's possible with this, which is amazing. So, you know what? I'm going to skip over the other one. I'll save it for the next video because I don't think I can top this one. I had a Blackstone one I was going to go over, which Blackstone is my all-time favorite stock. Just so you know, like now the Amazon one, $500,000 is probably a rarity, but gains and call options are very possible every day. And especially when we get back into a bullish market, which we will, remember that. I know a lot of people are going through tough times in this year, 2022. It's been a tough year, but hang in there and remember, we're going to have a bull market again one day. There are brighter days ahead. So keep that in mind. What you're seeing here on this screen will be possible again. So save a little bit of money. Now, everybody that says, oh, you know what, if I have $7,000 or $10,000, I can never get rich off of that. Well, I'm showing you right here that you can. So keep that in mind. Now, the insane bull market that we had, especially over the last 4 to 5 years, that market was probably the best market that I've seen for like long call options or leaps even. Now this, you could call this a leap. Usually I look at leaps, which is a long-term equity anticipation instrument. That just means it's an option that it's a like a call option, or just any option that you're buying a year out or more typically. But this was 6 months, so you could call this a leap. But this is still just, I look at it, it's just a straight call option. So like I said, the Blackstone one I'm not going to go over. I can't really top this, but keep that in mind when the market does turn bullish again. Even in a bearish market, earnings still, for some companies, earnings still beat expectations. Those options do well. I mean, I've closed out, like you saw the Facebook example. I made $100, but I could have made almost 2,000, or what did I say, 1,600, because it was a $1,700 gain today. But this Amazon one is phenomenal, and you can go to any stock, any like large cap stock, and just go on your phone. Like if you have an iPhone, just go to the stock app, type in whatever, type in Walmart, and just look at what the stock does. I mean, this is possible on any stock. Anytime you see run-ups in the stock price, if you follow charting and stuff, you follow the earnings, every time there's a run-up there in the stock, remember that's magnified for a long call option. And I didn't understand this, but I mean, this was like discovering, I mean, this is like a massive breakthrough. Once you understand this, it truly is life-changing, which goes in the theme of it goes into the theme of my channel. So like I say, discovering this, it's like when man discovered fire, almost, and in a sense, it's like just mind-blowing. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and take care, and keep an eye out for my next video.